Hi everyone, Amber here from So Majestic. Today we are sewing up month 8 of Cotton Cut's Fall 2023 Puzzle Mystery Quilt. As always, I am sewing up a small lemonade. Thank you to Cotton Cuts for allowing me to be an ambassador and post these tutorials on my channel as well as my social media. Today we have two sections. We have two of section 8A and 2 of section 8B. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. We only have 2 months left until this one is finished. The spring 2024 puzzle mystery quilt, the Tree of Life, just started. So if you're not signed up and you'd like to join, there's still a few colorways available, and I do have an affiliate link in the description. So I hope you enjoy the tutorial. I would love if you subscribe or give me a thumbs up. It does help my channel grow, and I appreciate it so much. Alright, so we are on month 8 of our Carnival Puzzle Mystery Quilt. I have my clue printed out. I have all my pieces laid out as shown here from the instructions. I'm using my Aurifil thread, a 7010 needle, and my domestic machine. And I also have a wool pressing mat and mini iron. So this month we have 2 sections, 2 for 8A and 2 for 8B. I will be making one of each for the video. And of course I have my card here with all the fabrics, the descriptions, so I can match it up for the instructions. Okay, so for 8A, these all say we need 2, so I'm making 1 for this block. So I need a fabric A and a fabric E for step 1 for the half square triangle, and step 2 is also half square triangles as well, with A fabric and C fabric. So I am going to do that at the exact same time. So I'm just laying them out here on my pressing mat. It always helps me to lay them out exactly as I need to sew them. Alright, so I'm going to line these up right sides together. You can use clips or pins. When they are smaller pieces, I just hold them in place. And I'm using a full 1/4 inch seam allowance. And we have a lot of triangles which could be cut on the bias, so I'm going to be very mindful of that. I just let the machine pull it through. I was going to sew both at once, but that's okay. That way I don't have to cut the thread between. I'll do that for the next one. And I find it helpful to hand crank my needle into the fabric before sewing. That way I don't need a leader piece of fabric. Alright, so for step 1, we are pressing our seams down towards the triangle E. So I'm going to press the back first and then gently open it. And this is where I don't want to pull, so I don't stretch out my pieces. Okay, and then for step 2, our seams are being pressed up to the right towards piece A. Again, gently open them. Okay, so now we are on step 3, and I am joining them exactly as they already look. So my E is on the left hand side and my piece C is on the right. So I'm going to line them up carefully. right, and then step 3, our seams are being pressed towards the right hand side, towards our triangle that has the C fabric. I'll gently open this up. All right, so this is what your step 3 should look like, and I'm going to set it to the side for a minute, because for step 4, we need to do 2 half square triangles. Well, we need to do 4, so I'm going to do 2, and then both of them are E fabrics and C fabrics. So I'm grabbing, those are my E, and then our C fabrics. So that is step 3, and actually before I sew that, step 4, sorry. So this is step 4, and if you look at step 5, we also need 2 other half square triangles with our piece D and our piece E. So again, I am going to do all 4 of these at once. So I'm laying out my step 3 and my step 4. Okay, I'll start with my step 3 fabrics. Oh, they moved a little bit on me. So instead of pulling that out and cutting the threads, I just leave it underneath my presser foot, and I'm going to stitch the next one. And this way I don't have to cut my threads between each section, or between sewing each section. I'll cut them all at once this is done. And then this helps you save thread as well, and time. And these should line up perfectly because they're die cut, so I'm just taking my time, making sure that the edges are lined up. On this one, it almost wanted to eat the fabric a little bit, so I'm going to see how it looks once I open it up. If it can get hidden in the seams, I'm not going to worry about it. So I'm just clipping between all my pieces. Okay, and I am going to start and press my step 4 first, which had the C fabric. And these are going to be pressed towards the bottom, towards the E fabric, so towards the blue side if you are doing the lemonade colorway, or the left hand side if you are following along but have a different colorway. Sometimes the fabrics like stick together for me. Okay, and then now for the next 2 that we have sewn, our E fabric is going to be towards the bottom, and we are pressing towards that E side again, but this side it's to the right. And gently open them. I'm taking my time, making sure I'm not pulling on these. With all these half square triangles, it's so easy to get them to warp. Okay, so now I have my step 3 and my step 4 here. For step 5, we're going to do it twice. I keep messing up. I'm sorry. Step 4 and step 5. I keep saying step 3, but step 3 is when we joined our 2 pieces together. So step 4, step 5. Now on step 6, we are attaching what we just did. So I think I have them, yes, I have them laid out as they're needed. So the top has the C half square triangle to the right, and the bottom has the E half square triangle to the right. So they should look just like this. And this is step 6, and we're going to attach them both. And I'm going to pay extra special attention as I'm sewing these, because a lot of times, like, I will end up sewing the wrong edge. And I'm going to sew them both at the same time. And I'm going to trim my threads. And now both of these seams are going to be pressed towards the top, towards where our C half square triangle is on the right hand side. So I'm gently opening that up. And the same thing for this one here. Okay, so now we are on step 7. It's so easy to get these tilted around. So I need to make sure that my step C is to the right. Yes, and then step D. And then this one here, I am completely rotating. So if it looks at the picture, our C fabrics are in the bottom left and top right. The other corners are our E fabric, and our D fabric are touching in the centers here. And we are going to sew right down the middle. So for this one, I am going to use clips because I do have a seam here. So I am going to fold it, and our seams nest perfectly. If you have pressed them the correct directions, they will butt up right against each other. So I'm going to clip there first, and then clip the rest. And I'm not so worried about the edges lining up. You can see like this one's a little bit longer here. That will get hidden in the seam allowance. It's more important that my center, that where the seams are nested, is aligned. So again, sewing at my 1/4 inch. And I do use a full 1/4 inch. It's easier for me to be more accurate than with a scant 1/4 inch. Okay, and our seams we are pressing to the left. So I'm going to gently open this up. All right, and actually you could see that my seams here are, they shifted. So I'm actually gonna pick this apart and redo that one because I want my points to line up better than what they show here. In the whole quilt, it won't be super noticeable, but I do want to fix it while I can. Okay, so I just take the time to pull, seam rip that apart and fix it. So now my point is perfect. So I'm much happier with that. If it's something small, I don't fix it, but that was pretty noticeable. So I wanted to take the time to fix it while I could. Now, our last step is our step 8. So we are taking the piece that we made in piece 3 and we're joining it to the top of the piece that we just finished in step 7. So you can see the E's should line up and the C's should line up if you sewed them correctly. And again, this has a center point, and the seams nest again if you pressed your seams the correct way. And again, I'm lining up in the center and then my edges. And hopefully I did a better job this time lining them up in the middle. Okay, and for this, our seams are being pressed towards the top, towards the piece that we just added. So I'm going to gently pull that one apart. And I'm just giving it a little bit of an extra press where the seams really come together. The half square triangles make it a little bit bulky. And then you can see there that my point there lined up perfectly. So I'm very happy with that. So this is our section 8A, and I'm going to set it aside and start on 8B. All right, we are on section 8B. I need 2 of piece D and piece E triangles. So for this one, I'm only going to sew 1, but if you're doing all at once, you'll want 2. And so that is actually for 1.1, and 1.2 has us use a triangle and an E triangle. So I'm going to lay them out at the same exact time and sew both of them. The fabrics tonight really want to stick to each other. Okay, and I'm going to sew the second step as well, or step 1.2. Okay, and I'm going to trim my threads here. So now for 1.1, we are pressing towards the top right, towards our D half square triangle. And then for step 1.2, we are pressing to the bottom left towards our A triangle. So now for 1.3, we have 2 different steps. We have to attach our DE half square triangle to the top of 1.2, our AE. So if you look, our E fabrics will be lined up in the middle. So I'm going to do that first. And taking my time. The Aurifil thread loves to curl compared to like polyester thread that I use for bag making. So I always have to remember to fold my tails. All right, and so for this one, we are pressing our seams to the top towards the one that has our D triangle. All right, and then our last step, 1.3, we are adding a small A rectangle to the bottom. So it will line up with your A fabric that's already there. And again, they should fit perfectly. And for this one, we are pressing down towards that A rectangle. And then I'm going to set it to the side. So now we are on step 2, and there's a few different steps. So 2.1, we need an AE triangle. So A and E. And for 2.2, we need an A and C half square triangle. So I'm gonna, again, sew those both at the same exact time. If you're making both blocks at once, you should have 4. I have the 2. I'm gonna sew this one at the same exact time. Okay, so for 2.1, our AE half square triangle, we are pressing down towards the E triangle. I love this colorway. I think the fabrics are just so beautiful. They're so vibrant. And then for our AC triangle, we are pressing toward the right up towards our A triangle. All right, so now step 2.3, we have a couple things we need to do. We're keeping our triangles, our half square triangles, exactly how we just sewed them, but I'm also going to add a B square to the left. So I am going to sew the steps that I just did in 2.1 and 2.2 first. And for this, our seams are being pressed towards the middle. So I want to go to the left on this one, towards that AE piece. And then I'm going to attach my B square to the left-hand side. And again, this one is being pressed towards the center, so towards the right. I'm going to press the back first, and then gently open this. Okay, and again, I'm going to set this one to the side. Now we are on step 3.1, So we need a F square and a B rectangle. So I'm going to do that part first because 3.2 we have a little bit more steps. So I'm going to combine these. And this is going to be pressed towards our square. So our seams are being pressed up. Okay, and I'm just going to set it to the side for 1 minute because now for step 3.2, we need our large A triangle. We need a B triangle on the left-hand side and an E triangle on the right-hand side. So I'm going to start with the right-hand side and line that up. And for this one, our seams are being pressed towards the smaller triangles. So it's going to go up to the right-hand side for piece E. And then I'm going to attach our piece B to the left-hand side. And again, they should line up perfectly still. All right, and then this should be pressed to the top left towards that B triangle. And then our last step for 3.2 is we need to add our long rectangle of piece A to the bottom. Because this one is a bit longer, I'm going to use clips on it. We are going to press these seams towards that rectangle on the bottom. So gently open that up. And now this is step 3.2. So for 3.3, we need to take this piece that we just did with the square and the rectangle and attach it to the left. And again, there's seams here, so I'm going to line those seams up, taking my time to do that. They will nest, so I'm going to clip them first and then clip along the edge. Okay, and I'm going to sew that. I really like how this block is coming together. Okay, and then for this one, our seams are going to be pressed to the left towards the square rectangle we just added. So I'm going to gently open that. All right, so now we have a few different steps. So this is our step 3.3. We are going to take our step 2.3, which is our long one here that we did, and align it to the bottom. So you can tell you have it right because our B fabrics will be matched up on the left-hand side. And for here, even though there's a seam here, this is a large piece. So I'm only gonna worry about the seam on this left side. So I'm gonna flip that and match up these seams, which again nest perfectly if you press your seams in the correct direction, and then line up the rest of my block. I'm just double checking because it does look short on this side. It could just be my seam allowance. I could hide it in my seam allowance when we eventually put this quilt together. For me, my focus is always on that middle seam. Okay, and then we are going to sew along that edge. And then for this one, our seams are going to be pressed towards the bottom. So I'm going to press the back side first and then gently open it. Yeah, so you can see here that my point is a little tiny bit to the left, but not enough where I feel like it's super noticeable. So this one I'm not going to pick out. So then I'm going to press here. And you'll see now, because this is a little bit shorter, you're going to see how I'm going to hide that in my seam allowance. Actually, I'm debating if I should pull this one out. I think I might, just to give me some more space right here. Okay, so this is our step 4. We just attached the bottom here, and you can see that my right hand side does not line up completely. So I'm going to show you now how I add that or hide that in the seams, because our this piece here that we did for section 1.3 is going to be attached to the right hand side. I'm actually just going to press this just a little bit more. It's really thick in that spot, so it keeps wanting to open up. Okay, so here you can see that I have a seam on the top. I do have 2 here, but they don't line up with any others. So I'm going to focus on that top one. So and these seams nest again. So I'm going to take my time lining that up, hoping this one doesn't shift on me. Some people say it's better to use pins for where those points are. Usually I have better luck, but this block is really challenging me. All right, and so on the back here, you can see that it's a little bit underneath. And for me, that's fine. It's going to get caught up in the seam allowance. I'm really not worried about it coming undone, especially because I do the full 1/4 inch seam allowance. If you do a scant, you might want to fix that. But for me, it'll be enough. And then for this one, our seams are pressed to the right hand side. So you can see on the back, I have caught the edge, and there's enough space that you're not even gonna know that wasn't aligned earlier. Okay, so I'm pressing the back first and then gently opening it. So again, on this point right here that we lined up is rather thick. And I'm just kind of giving the whole block a press. All right, and so now we have finished our 8B block. It's like almost perfectly symmetrical. You can't tell that this side was shorter to begin with. So I'm really happy with how it turned out. All right, everybody, we just finished our month 8. Should have 4 sections, 2 of 8A and 2 of 8B. We only have 1 more month of blocks and then we put our quilt together. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Let me know if you are participating in Tree of Life. I am sewing up a large Moonlit. So if you'd like to follow along for those tutorials as well, they're available on my channel. See you next month. Bye.